Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Who is Amos Otis? And this is a new film from writer-director Greg Newberry, based off of a play that focuses on a man who assassinates the president and is put on trial, and you soon learn his perspective on why this is all going on. Is he crazy? Is there something even stranger going on that might explain why he did this? And this film, obviously, it's going to have a lot of strong feelings from a lot of people, seeing as it's quite obvious who this president is that they're insinuating gets assassinated in this film, because it's basically Trump. And I've seen a lot of articles popping up when I looked into the film. Does this condone assassination of a president, specifically like President Trump? And I feel like there's a couple ways you could look at this film. Obviously, you could look at the messaging. You could look at it from just a courtroom drama perspective, and does it build mystery and intrigue? And also, is it dangerous? And I feel like this kind of film is going to have a lot of very strong, volatile feelings about what this film's trying to convey. And there's enough to talk about just from a filmmaking perspective and from a story perspective, whether this is a good film or not. But also, obviously, you have all of these thoughts on, do I feel like this film condones what happened? And it feels like a defense attorney in this film's kind of the conduit for the audience. And where this film kind of leaves you when this public defender gives his thoughts on this situation, which I feel like are basically the thoughts of the filmmaker, and at least it feels that way, is trying to, like, have your cake and eat it too kind of thing, where it's like, I don't think you should have done this, but I'm not mad. And it's just like, it's a very touchy subject, obviously, because this is it's a very complicated thing that you're trying to take on in this film. And I think this film would have done better if they were going to bring up this kind of morality play and have this discussion. It really should have been something that was a lot more obviously that it was fiction, but they definitely lean into reality, and specifically pointing out one particular person that it's very obvious that the film's trying to have commentary on. Because, like, this film has no subtlety at all. There's a whole entire sequence where the man, Amos Otis, who's put on trial, just talks right at the audience and is just like, these are all the horrible things, this is how you should be feeling about this. And it's just like, from a filmmaking perspective, it's just very obvious and really pushing those specific ideas, and it feels very preachy in the way that it's written. And especially with how this film's set up, it's definitely leaning into trying to convey a specific message. And from like a story standpoint, there is an interesting amount of mystery here, and you are kind of on the edge of your seat trying to figure out what's real, what's fantasy, what's delusion. And even the end of the film leaves it ambiguous enough for you to figure out, is this really what's happening? But the thing is, it's like, there's mystery in the story, but there's no mystery in, like, the messaging of the film, because it's very clear on its perspectives. This is a courtroom drama. It's a lot of people standing and talking, sitting and talking, more standing and talking, and more sitting and talking. And I think that this feels like it was a play. There's a lack of the cinematic perspective to it, and it just kind of feels like, yeah, you're just sitting here listening to dialogue. And you have a lot of this film becomes compelling based off of Josh Katawick, who plays our lead here, this assassin, and he gives a compelling performance. He's convincing. And this character has you thinking. And a lot of the other actors, it's like they're doing their thing. There's some unbelievable things. I feel like there has to be something in our court system that like wouldn't allow this particular situation to keep playing out like it did. Like, it was very obvious that like the judge was like, yeah, we're gonna listen to all of this kind of thing, and I felt like that felt convenient. But in the end, like, is this a dangerous kind of film to be like putting out there? And you know, it's a very taboo concept to be trying to put into a film, especially when there's a sense of realism to it as well, because there's no mistaking who this is talking about. And I feel like in the end, it's an interesting enough idea, but it's not the best executed film. From a film perspective, there is mystery, but it also is very stiff and static and very preachy and lacking any nuance to it. It just very much, well, let's bring up this really, really taboo, complicated, and uncomfortable idea and just kind of run with it. And there's not much else to the film besides that, except for maybe a strong central performance from Katawick, who kind of reminded me of like a Philip Seymour Hoffman, and like the actor who played the villain in the 3rd season of Jessica Jones, or was that only the 2nd season? Whatever the last season of Jessica Jones was, that antagonist, like this actor reminded me of him, and like he had some presence. But in the end, I don't know if I necessarily enjoyed this film, nor do I think this was really a good idea, because no matter how you feel about a certain president, this was certainly a bold choice to make this film, and I don't know if we're better off with it. I guess that's how I kind of feel about it. And it isn't even a great film on top of that. So, do I really think this is worth checking out? Probably not. And honestly, it's also going to just be... Obviously, if you feel a certain way in a positive light about a certain president, you're going to despise this film. And I feel like a lot of people who don't even agree with him will have some adverse feelings towards this film because how problematic it is. But in the end, I don't think I'd really recommend this one. This was a interesting exercise in terms of art and filmmaking. But those are my complicated roundabout feelings of who is Amos Otis. Let me know what you think. Let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.